What I have found helpful in those conversations is really to just remove myself completely. That's a skill, essentially, is to be able to, just say, I'm gonna set a boundary here, and these are the type of conversations that I'm going to choose not to participate in. Hey there, my name is Chrystal. I'm a coach here at Headspace, and welcome back to Ask a Coach. Today, we will be taking some questions about the upcoming election and how folks are feeling about it. It can be so nerve-wracking when you're thinking about voting and making choices and things that affect all of us in society, right? So I'll be providing you with some ideas or suggestions that you can use to help manage any way that you may be feeling or any emotions that you may be experiencing during this time. So let's take our first one from LS. LS says, I'm in a situation where my family and I share opposite political views, but I cannot express mine out of fear. My family and I will be watching TV and a political debate or ad will come on, and I'm immediately filled with stress and anxiety because they usually say something about the ad and ask me to agree with them. I was wondering if you had any tips about what to do in a situation like this where we do not agree and I can express my thoughts. Yeah, LS, that's a tough one because it's our family, right? And you want to have good meetings with your family. You want it to be an easy time. And when you're feeling stress and anxiety being around them, it's tough. It's a tough situation to deal with. What I have found helpful in those conversations is really to just remove myself completely. That's a skill, essentially, is to be able to, just say, I'm gonna set a boundary here, and these are the type of conversations that I'm going to choose not to participate in. Okay, so you have every right to give yourself permission to be able to do that. If that doesn't come so easy, there are non-judgmental sentence stems that you can use that don't put people on the defense. So you can say something like, oh, that's a good point. I can relate to that part, or I agree with that part of it. And some other ones that are really good are, that's really interesting what you just said. So find parts of the conversation that you can agree with so that you can participate without necessarily subscribing to their point of view fully. I hope that's helpful. I know this is a tough time. Feel free to chime in to Ask a Coach again and let me know how well that went. But good luck with everything with your family. So let's take this question from Nancy. I am worried about making the wrong decision with my vote and taking on responsibility and guilt if the party I vote for doesn't keep their promises. How do I take on a healthy level of responsibility with my vote without feeling anxious and guilty if things go wrong? Values is such an important aspect to consider in any type of election coming up so that you can feel grounded and secure in the fact that you chose based on the information that was presented to you. The second piece that we would want to think about is control. Focusing on what you can control and being able to let go of what you have no control over. What you can control is the fact that you get a vote and you went out there and did it, and you can celebrate that. Also focusing on the fact that based on the information in front of you, you chose the best way that you knew how. And the things that you can't control, then maybe practice some self-compassion in that. Just being able to go, I did the best that I knew how with what I was given, and now I can just let it go. And however it unfolds, then you can deal with it at that time. But thinking about what possibly could happen often brings about negative emotions into our body that we don't want, right? So we don't want to bring anxiety and stress on a possibility of something. We want to think about staying in the present and what can we do about this right now. And you did that when you were talking about voting. So I hope that that was helpful to you. I'm so glad for the question, and I'm sure a lot of people can get support and tips from that because we all are feeling it.